hello, 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 and welcome to the Maxine Phillips McCoy show. And tonight we're only going to be talking about life strategies. So, first of all, I always say reach out, tag someone, let them know that we're on. They need to be a part of this conversation tonight. We have a great acronym that's going to be introduced to you. You don't want to miss it. And I always say, be sure to share. Don't keep this great information to yourself. And we only drop what? Platinum nuggets. So we're going to talk about life strategies. And this is from the levelist perspective. Levelist is all about understanding your worth, advocating for yourself, and succeeding on your own terms. That's right. Own terms, not what someone else deems for you, but what you have decided and defined what success looks like for you. And therefore, you can be level-less. And what's the outcome? What's the results? What are the benefits? Well, the benefits is reaching the career you want, and it's about receiving the income that you desire, and it's nothing like living the lifestyle that you deserve. And that's what Levelist does. So come on over to the Levelist movement. But tonight, I have a special guest. And all my guests are special, so there's no exception to the rule. But this lady here tonight is going to be talking about balancing your everyday job so you can still have a business. Oh, I'm so excited and can't wait to hear all this great information and the platinum nuggets that are going to be dropped. So I want you to welcome to the stage, to the show, Sekola Lear. Come on in. Come on down. Let us see that beautiful face.
Hello, how are you?
It's connecting. We know how the internet goes and the digital world. There she is. Hello.
Hi, how are you?
I'm doing great. I trust your day has been well.
And it has been a fulfilling day, definitely.
Excellent. Well, Sekola, we met probably about 8 years ago at least?
It's been about 8 years, yes. Do you want to tell them how we met, actually?
No, I'm going to let you do it. You're my guest. You are my guest.
Okay, so I will share with you how I met the wonderful Miss Maxine Phillips McCoy. It was about 8 years ago, like you said, and I was watching YouTube because you know how sometimes you can go through that YouTube spiral, watching things on YouTube, and this advertisement came on from GAMS Unlimited talking about how they can help students in school develop great leadership skills, essay writing, preparing for college, and even beyond, helping people create great resumes, being able to show up, shake hands in interviews, and land a dream job. And I was fascinated by that because at the time I was working with women all over the world doing video. And I was like, wow, whoever did her video did a phenomenal job. And I could tell she wasn't reading a script. And it's okay if you do read a script, but she just did a phenomenal job. So they left a number on the screen and I just picked up the phone right away and I called, never met her before. And I just said out, hey, I just want to let you know, I just saw your advertisement on YouTube and that you did a wonderful job. And we met, I want to say a few months later in a coffee shop, and we have been connected ever since.
And that's one thing about building relationships. Listen, 8 years, and I always talk about network, connecting is very important. And right. This is the reason why I say that is because you have to build that relationship. And that's what trust is all about. So it's not about, I love the fact that you gave that story because you never know when you put an advertisement out there. And you brought up a very important point. It was the authenticness. It was being genuine about what it is that you offer and how you can help someone. And so I appreciate that you saw my heart. And that's what I do. But tonight we're going to be talking about you. I want you to share with our viewing audience a little something about Secola. So tell me about a little bit about your business and what you do. I know you're an educator. I
Yes.
know you're a realtor. So
Yes.
what part of this you want to share tonight about what it is that you bring to the table, that the value that you offer to the world?
Well, I'm a connector at heart as well. And I always believe in going and flowing through authenticity. If it doesn't feel relatable, if it doesn't feel authentic, if I feel any type of angst in me trying to do something, then I know it's not the right thing for me. I'm an introvert. Didn't discover that until later on. Um, as a child, I was always one of those thinkers. If people say, "What are you doing?" I'm thinking. And I didn't realize that I was an introvert until adulthood. And with my background, I've been able to, not just with education, inspire young minds, which I will always be an educator at heart. No matter what I'm doing, I'm always going to be an educator at heart. And that really is what drives me, um, energizes me as well, because I
Yes.
love being energized by other people's energy, positive energy. And going into the real estate profession, being a realtor, I love helping and educating people through the process. Sometimes we're psychologists, we have to hold the hands, just like with the education. So I think those two backgrounds where it was transferable for me to become a realtor, but also that I've been able to work with other women around the world and other introverted business women around the world. I can't tell you, I'm honored to see how their businesses are flourishing, from France to Canada to South Africa. I've worked with so many wonderful people, and that's just the thing I love about connecting with people and
You know,
helping.
an introvert, and many times people think introvert are those individuals who want to sit in a corner or be by themselves. But introvert only means that you get your energy by being alone. You can be with other people and communicate and relate and all of that and network. But there comes a time where you have to just step aside and become re-energized by being alone and getting that energy back again. I love the fact that you said that you discovered later in life that that you're an introvert as an adult. But imagine if we had our young adults and our teenagers who understand whether they're introvert, extrovert, or ambivert at an early age, and they know how to maneuver it, how to use it, how to
Mhm.
play to their strength. And so that's what we do here at Levelist. And so I love the fact that you said you found that out as an adult. But we don't want them to wait until they become an adult, because we're going to give them some platinum nuggets tonight that
Right.
listen, parents, have your pen and paper ready so that you can take the notes. You can always come back and look at the video, but depending on your learning style, you might be the kind of person who wants to write it down first and then it locks into your memory. So I want you to talk about how, the thing about everything that we do is about life strategy. So I want you to tell me about, give me a strategy that someone shared with you, and maybe you can even tell us who that person was and how it has impacted you in what you do in your profession or your personal or professional life.
Well, one strategy when I started my businesses, when I first thought about being an entrepreneur, the first thing I learned was creating core values. And this doesn't have to be for business, it could be
No,
life.
it can be personal life, because here it's about career and life strategies. It's not just one over the other. You can't have one without the other, to be honest.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So, creating those core values, I found 5 key things. And some of my core strategies are honesty, transparency, fun, balance, laughter. And I put fun and laughter because I can have fun, but I at least have to have one belly aching laugh a day. And the people that I am around, we have to have fun. We've got to enjoy what we do. Integrity was another one of mine. So it was honesty, transparency, fun, balance, integrity. And then I wrote a description about each one. And I learned this from a wonderful lady in France. Her name is Nadine Nbon. She is a brand strategist. She walked me through so many things when I started in business because I did not know myself. And we're going to talk about that a little bit later. I didn't really know why I was doing some of the things that I was doing, what the root causes of them were. And when I started a business, she said, you cannot separate yourself from your business. You and your business are one. That's what a brand is.
That's
So you
right.
can't hide behind a screen and think, oh, people will just come and buy my products. No. So when I wrote my descriptions out for my core values, for my life, for business, for anything that I do, if I do something or I'm introduced to something and it does not resonate with me and it does not align with my core values, then I know it is not a right fit for me. And I am okay to walk away from it because I know it does not align with me and does not resonate with who I am and who I represent.
I listen, ladies and gentlemen, did you catch that platinum nugget? That was a platinum nugget. That was a gem that was just dropped. It must be in alignment with your
Yeah.
core values, and whether it's personal or whether it's professional. It's who you are from your core. And as Nicola stated, we're going to talk a little bit about that. How do you even come to know who you are from your core? Well, there is an assessment that helps us to do it, but I won't
Mhm.
get in just totally get into that right now because I want to stay on this thought process of alignment with your values, because no matter what career you're going to go into, no matter what profession, no matter what organization you're going to work with, it still must be in alignment with your core values. Do not do not do I can't emphasize that enough. Do not take that into consideration. You must keep that in the forefront when you are looking at moving towards entrepreneurship or working for someone, even what
Mhm.
school you're going to go to, no matter what, always take that into consideration. And
Absolutely.
oneness, yes, yes. Somebody said they gave a love sign. They gave a love sign.
All
Okay.
right.
So
Thank you
I love the
guys.
fact
Appreciate
that
it.
you dropped that platinum nugget, because that is so essential in life, that you know your values and you were able to just rattle them and just state them. And that's how it should be. Integrity is one of mine, character is another, standard of excellence, all of
Mhm.
that, customer service. So all of that, is you must understand what your values are. And I love that. So, and I love the fact that you even stated who the person was, and it sounded like to me that she was in another country.
Yes. So we met when I started my business journey because, like most educators, we usually got a side hustle. And so I met someone, good friend of mine back home in my hometown, who had been running their business from home successfully for 10 years, which
Mm-hmm.
opened me up to meeting people. And that's how I met this lady. And she helped me to understand my why. She was a Simon Sinek facilitator. And even after knowing her for a couple of years, I still really didn't know who I was. And if you're running a business, you learn so quickly, more quickly, about who you are and what you like and what you don't like. And I think a lot of times people, we just get caught in this loop. We get stuck. We get up, go to work, take care of family, get up, do it all over again. Maybe have some downtime on the weekend, but a lot of times we spend grocery shopping,
Mm-hmm.
doing laundry, whatever, just trying to catch up from things that we didn't do during the week. And I got stuck in that adulting loop, and I wasn't taking the time to get to know my why. Why do I do these things? Why do I respond this way? What is my purpose? So she kind of just deconstructed all of that down. So now if I show up in a room, I know who I am, I know who I represent. If I go to work, I know who I am, I know who I represent. I show up for clients, all of that. So it's important to know your why, your purpose. Why are you doing this? If it's to make more money, if that's your why, okay, that's fine. But if I know my deeper why, nothing or no one can deter me or defer me from my purpose. Because if you're purpose driven, no one can stop you. Even if you
No
get
one.
no's, you're going to hear no's, right? You may hear several no's. I was listening to a short video on Instagram. This guy had a business idea. He counted them. He heard 617 no's before he got a yes.
And all it
But
takes
it
is
goes
what?
back to your why. One. Takes one.
All it takes is that one yes.
Yes.
And there is with the level is mindset, I talk about see it, know it, and then believe it. When you believe it, you can see where it is you want to go. You can know you have the knowledge, skills, and abilities. But until you believe in what you have, until you take ownership of it, it helps you to understand that purpose and that why. I love what you said as far as, yes, you must need to know that why. And then what do you need to do in order to fulfill that why, to bring it a reality, that purpose driven, that passion driven, so that no one or nothing can stop you. And that's what Levelist is all about. That's why I say know your worth. When you know your why and you know who you are from your core, from your DNA, no one can stop you. And the sky is not the limit. Hello. The sky is not the limit. So stop letting other people limit you and you stop limiting yourself. And that's another platinum nugget and a strategy that we want you to take and apply it. Because many times you have these dreams as a child, but life gets in the way. You become an adult and you stop dreaming, or you stop, bringing it to a reality. We don't want that. We do not want that. But Sekolah has something tonight that she's going to share with us. There's an acronym that she uses, and I think it's going to be very valuable. So do you have your pen and paper ready? You're going to need to understand this, and it's easily to apply. So let's run that word across the banner.
Okay,
let's see if we can get that word across the banner.
I'm just going to introduce it just for a little bit, and that'll give them time to put the acronym up. So we were talking about life balance, right? And there are ways that I used to burn out, then try and start all over again. But now I get to the point where I know how to stop myself before I get to that burnout point, and I recognize that about myself. And so you may some of these things may resonate with you. Whether you're working 50 to 60 hours a week, you can't keep track of your appointments. You forget meals. Some people are so busy they don't take time to eat a meal. You exert all your energy and you put all your energy into one basket. And I learned as an adult that you can never give 100% to one thing, because if you give 100% to one thing, you have nothing to give to no one else. Do you find yourself thinking about work when you're supposed to be asleep in the middle of the night? Are you dreaming about work? And it could be a stressful thing at work. So these are things or key indicators that you may be approaching burnout. Do you find yourself easily irritated, crying, upset with others? Have you given up on doing things that you love doing? So if you answered yes to any of these or some of these, I want you to take this opportunity to rethink some of the work-life balance. So there is one thing, a little exercise that I like to do, and I do this sometimes mentally, but I'm just going to show this just for the purposes. So this is a paper plate, right? And I call this the plate exercise. So, and I'll take a sheet of paper and I'll write down all my priorities. And my priorities could be family, friends, leisure, community, health, education, spirituality, taking time for myself, right? Self-care. Those are my priorities. So I write it all down, and then I put in work. That's a necessity, right? Or chores around the house, things I got to do in the community. I cut it out in strips of paper. Now you can draw a circle on a piece of paper if you want, but I like to just do this for emphasis. So I will cut out all the things, my priorities, and then I'll put them on the plate first. And then all the other stuff that I have to do, I'll put that on the plate, right? And then I can actually see how full my plate actually is. Then I have to do the hard task of saying, you know what, this is too much on my plate. I'm going to take that off, take that off, take that off. That's not a priority right now. So that leads me to the first word in the acronym. So the acronym I like to use, and write this down, prone, PRONE, prone. The first one is priorities. You have to evaluate and clarify your priorities. Oh, you're going to take some tea on, you're going to sip some tea on that one. We need to evaluate and clarify your priorities, because you have to make the difficult decision of deciding what's most important in your life. Are there goals or things that you want to do? That's fine. Maybe they're just not for right now. It could be down the road. That's why you have short-term, long-term goals, or even immediate goals. Okay. But please be aware of the pressure of adopting other people's priorities as your own. I'm going to take a sip of tea on that one.
I know that's right. I had to take a sip of tea on that. That was good. Prone, PRONE. So each letter, she's going to talk about what does it mean, just high level. And then you can always, reach her later for additional details. So that was the
Right.
P for priorities.
Mm-hmm. So yes, prone. You want to make sure that you set essential standards for yourself, priorities for yourself, and be careful of adopting other people's priorities as your own, because what may work and be beneficial for one person may not be beneficial for you. The next one is R. Now, if you have ever watched the sitcom It's a Different World, and you watched Debbie Allen's character when she was a therapist to Jasmine Guy's character, Whitley Gilbert, and when Whitley was going to see Debbie Allen's character, and she was a therapist, Debbie Allen's character would always say, relax, relate, release. That's what R stands for. Relax, relate, release. What this means is that you have to remove yourself from difficult people, difficult situations, unpleasant situations, and even office gossip. So if you find yourself starting to think negatively and you're saying, I'm not a negative person, this is not me, this is not who I am. What we watch, what we listen to, who we surround ourselves with has a bearing on us. There's an old Chinese proverb that says, if you hang around 5 positive people, you become the 6th. If you hang around 5 negative people, you become the 6th. So you have to decide which one you want to be, the positive or the negative. Make sure you get sufficient rest. Okay. That's part of knowing where your limits are. Iyanla Vanzant always talks about keeping the cup full, right? What's inside the cup is for me. What's overflowing from the cup is what other people get. When a lot of times, especially women, statistically, we tend to let our cups get low and we allow people to drain us. And that's a choice. We allow people to drain us. And so if we allow our cup to get empty and we get near the bottom and we're going, oh, I'm burned out, I'm tired, it's because you gave what's inside your cup. Never, ever give what's inside your cup. Always share what's overflowing. I like that expression, my cup runneth over, because that's what you're going to get. But you're not going to get what's inside my cup. So the next one is organize. O is for organize. Getting organized, again, is going back to prioritizing what's most important, planning ahead, setting aside time. If you know that you don't have a lot of time to cook during the week, for me, it's easier for me to set aside time on the weekend. I like to block out 3 to 4 hours on my calendar, on my phone, meal prep. Fall and winter time, great times for casserole, soups, things that stretch. I even take them, put them in the freezer. So because I know, hey, there may be a week where I'm going to be really busy. I don't like to say busy. I'm going to have a full week. And I can take some of those things out from the freezer and make it a quick meal and easier on myself. Simplifying your life is also important. If you got too many activities and appointments that are needless and they're stressful and they rob you of your joy, try to spread them out during the month. Try not to stack all of your appointments in one week. That's one. Now, these are not hard and fast rules. These are just things that work for me. Okay. N. Can you guess what N is? N is no.
The one word we do not like to say it that often. No.
I have learned to say no or set boundaries, healthy boundaries. So for a
Right.
prime example, in my work as a realtor, there are times where people want to call me, text me, send me emails late at night. When I do consultations or appointments, I'll let them know, hey, past a certain time. If you email me, call me, text me past a certain time, I have my phone set up. It goes into sleep mode. So even if you are blowing up my phone, I won't hear it. Only my immediate family, my parents, my brother, they are the ones that will get through to me if there is an emergency, right? My husband, he'll
Right.
get to me, but he's here. So he'll, if someone needs to really get in touch with me, they can, my immediate family. But other than that, I'll tell them I won't get that message until the following day after a certain time. That's setting a healthy boundary for yourself. There's several ways to say no. Another way is if there are a lot of household responsibilities and there are other family members in the home, even in business, you can't do it alone. You're not an island. Delegate, delegate, delegate.
Right.
Sometimes it's so much worth it because your time is priceless. You can't get it back. What you have is what you have for you. So again, be prepared. Find different ways and alternatives to say no, but be firm. Be loving, but be firm. Be
Mm.
professional, but be firm. And understand, be realistic and anticipate that some people are not going to like it when you say no.
No.
And you have to be okay with that particular response. If they don't receive it, okay. The last one is E. Stop trying to be perfect, but yet strive for your personal excellence.
Yes.
Earlier, Ms. Maxine, you talked about success. People look at success and define success in many different ways, whether it's
Correct.
a certain amount of money in the bank, their lifestyle status. For me, it goes again back to my why. If I set a goal, how I achieve that goal is by setting systems or creating a system in place in order to reach that goal.
Right.
Once I reach that goal and that goal allows me to come back full circle to my why, that's success. That's my personal excellence. Now, if I get paid for what I do, great. That cements that I am not doing a hobby. It is a business, but that does not determine my success for me. It
Yeah.
all goes back to my why. And yes, hey, I set a system in place that works for me to help me reach my goal. And if it worked this time, then I have another goal. Let me see what worked and let me set a system in place similar to what I've already done to continue to reach more goals. So Prone, again, let's just recap priorities for P, R, relax, relate, release. Take that time. Please, if you sense yourself in your body that you're feeling stressed, you're feeling anxious, you're getting a little bit snappy with people, that's time for you to pull back and take care of yourself. O is getting organized. I block time out on my phone, on my calendar. Some people have a business calendar, some people have a personal calendar. I keep it all together for me because I can block out that time and say, nope, I'm not available at this time. And that's another way to say no, getting to N and saying, no, I'm not able to do that at this time. What about this time? Or if, say, for example, someone asks you for something. I think my aunt and I talked about this one. A nice way of saying no is saying it's not in my budget. Because again, how and what we say has an impact. The first thing that comes out of our mouth, our ears are the first thing to hear it. So if you say, well, I'm broke, how does that resonate? How does that feel with you when you say I'm broke? Instead, it's not in my budget right now. It's not in my budget.
I
Or I'm
love
not
that.
ready to take that on right now. It
And
feels a
one of the
lot better with me.
Yeah. One of the things that I use with no is that, I say, well, let me check my calendar.
Mm-hmm.
And at this time, my calendar is booked and I'm unable to accommodate it, so not at this time.
Right.
So, because sometimes I have a very hard time, difficult saying no. And I love the fact that you said organized. With the organized, I remember doing a blog on me time, because that's exactly what you're talking about. Carve out that time on your calendar for yourself. You keep everybody else's appointment, so why not keep your appointment with yourself? So put it on your calendar, even if it's 15 minutes. Put that 15 minutes on the calendar, because you need that breather. You need to meditate, and so that's one way of getting some of that me time. As introverts need that me time, you need to be able to step away from all of the activities so you can re-energize. Extroverts, they love all the attention. And so if they're not involved in constantly doing something, then, it's not the same for them. But introverts, sometimes you're working in an extrovert world. So you have to have that me time, even if it's at lunchtime.
Right.
Carve out that me time.
Right.
Yeah.
And
so I
then
love
right. And E is strive for excellence. Stop trying to strive for perfection. We're not perfect. Nothing on this earth is perfect. So stop striving for perfection. Strive for excellence, your personal excellence. And another thing I love, and I learned this from a young lady who I kind of helped mentor. She used to be so outgoing, very personable, right? And now she's a young adult, and she realizes already right away, I'm an introvert. And she was doing a lot of activities in the past couple of weeks. And you know what she told her friends? She said, look, for the next 2 weeks, don't call me, don't ask me to go anywhere. I will be in my house on my couch recuperating, because I need time alone. And there's nothing wrong with saying that. And even if someone invites you to an event, be honest. It's okay to be honest. It's better for you to be honest with them than to say, yeah, I'm gonna come, and then you don't show up.
Don't show.
So what I've learned is, what I'm going to do. Thank you for the invitation, but I'm going to go home and I'm going to sit on my couch and I'm going to relax and recalibrate, because I've really had a full week and I need some time.
Yeah. So listen, you've got some phenomenal comments out here. Robin Sessom is blowing us up. She says, it's not in my budget, is another effective way to say no. And I'm not really ready to take on that, or I'm unable to accommodate it at this time due to my calendar boundaries. Loving it, Robin.
Thank you, Robin. I got an ebook in the works for this, y'all.
Yeah. And then strive for excellence to perfection. My personal excellence is my bestseller.
Ooh, I love that. Thank you, Robin. Thank you.
Be honest about your time and boundaries. And we have Norvell Turner, excellent advice. Nicole Beck, hi ladies, thanks for being here. And Jennifer Walker, we see you, Jennifer, is all about values and great tips.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah. And let's see. That's it, Jennifer. I'm not sure if it's Jennifer. Is Joanna? Is that how you pronounce her name?
Janae.
Yeah. Yeah. So listen, ladies, they are blowing this chat line up. That's exactly right. So that prone. Listen, y'all better write those nuggets down, because we can definitely use them and use that immediately. And I love the fact that you said relax, relate, and release. Relax, relate, and release. And one way of releasing, you can always journal. You can release what's going on internally, and that's therapeutic, and that's a way of de-stressing. And it's about capacity too. It's about releasing some of that stress on your brain so you can have some white space so new information can be downloaded to you. So you need to have time to be able to hear it. Connie Ward just chimed. She said, excellent ladies, insight. I'm soaking it all in. She's taking it all in.
That's my accountability partner. I just met with her this morning.
Okay, all right. Well, it's working. It is absolutely working. And ladies, y'all be sure to share this. Be sure to tell somebody else, come on in and listen to these phenomenal nuggets that's being dropped, because PRONE is an acronym that you can use and can immediately start putting it into place and prioritize. With just last week, I was talking about goals, not resolutions, but goals. And you can prioritize those goals. And that way you have short-term, long-term, intermediate. And against the goals, write down who can assist you. I love that you said, Sekola, don't try to go it alone. Delegate or ask for help.
Or what the saying is, closed mouths don't get fed. So
Yes.
if you don't speak up and you don't speak out and say, this person, say for example, I may call Miss Maxine up. She may not be able to do this. Nicole is actually here on the line. Another wonderful story. I met her at a networking event last year, and she's one of my go-to people. I will ask, hey, do you know someone in the area that does this? And she may not know, but she'll go on social media and type in that question, and she'll get back to me, and then she'll tag me and say, here's some of the resources that you may be looking for. So ask. It's called the proximity rule. Ken Coleman talks about the proximity rule. Ask people you know, even if it's for a career that you're looking for, or one that you may be wanting to explore. Ask. You don't
Well, ladies,
know who other people know.
I'm looking for an administrative assistant. So, well, let's put that out there. You know, a virtual assistant is what I'm looking for because, you
There
know,
you
I
go.
need to delegate. I need to delegate. You know, so hey, you have not because you asked not. You know, so
Exactly. And the
this
reason
is
why I came up with PRONE as the acronym is because if you follow, Nicole says she knows a VA.
hey, all right. We're gonna connect.
Nicole is my go-to for resources in this area.
Resource, she's a connector.
Yes, she is.
Yes.
She is a connector. Yes, 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 absolutely. So the reason why I came up with PRONE as that acronym is because if you follow those steps in everyday life, you are prone to be successful,
Come
not
on
just in
now. Come
business,
on
not in
now. Come
work,
on.
but also in your personal life. If you follow those steps, and again, some of the suggestions I made, those are things that work for me, but you may find other things that may work for you with that acronym. But you will be successful in your own right, not according to someone else's.
And you just hit it on the head because what Levelless is about defining what success looks like for you. And when you
Right.
do that, that helps you to know your worth. Then you
Mhm.
can advocate for yourself and you will be successful, continue successful on your own terms. So I love what you're saying. But what about these individuals who are unsure of who they are from their core? You found out your why later in life, but there are some individuals who need to know that why now and then what to do about it or how to do about it or how to even go about it. And that's what we do here at Levelers because we have what is called an ability assessment. And it helps
Mhm.
you to get to the core of who you are, your DNA. So you don't have to do it alone. So just know that you reach out to us here at Levelers so that we can, there's going to be a, what do you call it, a 15-minute discovery session that's going to be coming across in a minute. And that's something that you can just chime in on, connect us. And we're going to also be running Secola's information across so you can connect with her because you're going to want to know and dive deeper into this acronym of PRONE. She just gave us a taste of it tonight, ladies and gentlemen. She's just teasing us. There is more. There's more that goes along with it. I heard the
Mhm.
ebook is coming, but consultation, coming. Coaching is there. So reach out. There's no reason for you to go in it alone. Let's women helping women or people helping people, connecting. Make every connection count. And
Mhm.
this is a way of making that connection count. So I am loving it. I hope you all are dropping and writing these platinum nuggets down. Hello. Are y'all sharing it out? Are you telling somewhere to other people? Robin said, okay, I hear you, Maxine, talking about you need a VA. I got you. Oh, Cheryl Matthews just came in. She said, thank you so much, Sekola. Listen, y'all are blowing this chat line up tonight. I am loving.
I called all my people. Come on.
I know it. Your peep showed up. Let me tell you what, they
My
showed
people show up and show out.
yes. But you know what? The beautiful thing about it is that this information can be this we here on Pod TV go, it's streamed to over 200 countries. It's going to Roku. It's going to YouTube. There's so many ways that you can share this information out. I started this program about life strategies podcast because during COVID, there were so many people that were stuck. They were unsure how to get going. They had lost hope. Bringing individuals on, such as yourself, Sekola, to talk about ways that you can use information in order to become successful, continue to be successful, and don't let anybody take your thunder or your joy. You continue to know your value and the value that you bring in forth. That's whether in your personal life or professional. And let's face it, sometimes when you're in organizations, you might not feel like you're valued. But if you know who you are from your core, nobody can take that joy away from you. No one. So I am loving it. Let me say, I hope y'all are loving it. Put love in the comment if you're loving this. Put love in the comment.
Well, my daddy just put some love in there.
She did. She sure
He
did.
did.
Yes, indeed.
But so along with what you said, for Miss Maxine, I've had her come out speak to high school students to encourage them when they're age appropriate to create their LinkedIn profiles, how to draft up essays, college essays, resumes. She is the real deal, you guys. So for you, if you're looking for someone to come out and speak and encourage middle school, high school, even to do a small conference with adults who are looking to level up on their career and show up and shake hands in a memorable way that makes a great impression, she is the one that you really need to reach out to. She does a phenomenal job. And when you said something about the assessments, that is so important because I worked at one school, and this is the only school where I've worked that actually did this. And maybe because we were a smaller school, but they would have the students take an assessment when they came in, and it told us what type of learner they were. So by the time I got that student, I knew what type of learner they were. I knew how to create my lesson so I could touch on and make an impression for each of my students. No other school that I've worked in personally has done that besides that. But it also helped the students to know, hey, I am this type of learner. This is the best way that I learned. And by going in, I did the assessment myself. So I learned that, yes, I'm these types of learners. So a lot of people, they get on technology, they have their laptop. I'm a paper and pen person because if I see it, I'm writing it, I'm hearing it all at the same time. It makes a stronger impact for me. So when you say write out your goals, I did that. After you spoke to my young ladies, I did that. I wrote out my short-term, long-term goals. And then I want to say 6 months later, and I looked at all the goals and I was like, man, these are a lot of goals. But then 6 months later, I opened up that notebook again and I went back and I checked off all the goals that I did. And do you know, I achieved all the goals except for one. And it's fascinating to do that because you have to look at what you've accomplished, because a lot of people focus on, well, I'm not here yet. Oh, well, I wish I'm not quite where I want to be. And I had a conversation with a teammate about this 2 weeks ago, and they were saying, well, I didn't get this award. I'm not quite where I wanted to be. I said, but look how far you've come. So tell me, what did you do? What did you accomplish this year? And then they started listing all the things. I said, now, which feels better for you? All the stuff you accomplished, or are you focusing on what you haven't done yet?
Yeah. And
so think about all the things you accomplished.
Yeah. And so many times we focus on that one area and we're not, as you say, don't try to be perfect. Just have a standard of excellence. So identify and define what your standard of excellence is as well. Because sometimes someone, it can be 150%. They're trying to get to 150%, but guess what? You can only get to 100%. It's only 100%. That's it. And so what you have to understand is that what are your capabilities? What are you naturally gifted at? What you do every day without even thinking about it. Those are your natural abilities. Those are your strengths that you were born with that nobody had to teach them to you. But many times we don't know that. And because we don't know that, that's where lack of confidence comes in at. But I tell you that once you understand who you are from your core and you know your strengths, you match that up against your passion and your purpose. Again, the sky is not the limit. There's no such thing as a glass ceiling. You exceed that because in your mind, you are level less. You don't have to compete with the level. You don't have to compete with yourself or with anyone else. You just continue to be successful. So that's a mindset shift that we must take. And once you take that mindset shift, then you are always succeeding and it feels good. You're fulfilled. You have that joy, unspeakable joy.
Right.
You know, so I can just keep going when it comes to all of this. So. But let's see what Cheryl Matthews, she gave us some love. Cheryl said, I've had held supervisors meeting to determine what type of learners they were to help with ways for them to better themselves. So people learn differently. And Cheryl, hey, you just let me know if there is something that you need me to do to come in and assess. I do group assessments so that you can understand all the different, not only learning styles, but how do they make decisions? How do they problem solve? What's their strengths? You know, the roles and responsibilities, do you have them placed in that role and responsibility that they have a strength for and their ability for, opposed to working against their strengths? They're working and they're thriving in their strengths. So she said, oh, I needed this tonight. So, you know, it's not our timing. Is timing is always there. Right. So let's see, Sekolah, what else do we have for them? Let's see what else do we know. So what would you have told your younger self? I would say somewhere between starting at the age of 13 to 20. What would you have told your younger self according to what you know now?
Wow. 2 words. It's okay.
Love it.
It's okay. It's going to work out. And it will work out on time when it's supposed to.
And timing is everything.
Yeah.
It's not our timing, but I always say it's his timing.
Absolutely.
That higher power, you know, it's okay. And it is okay, because when you know who you are and you know those everyday abilities and strengths, it's okay. Everything is not for you. But that is for you, you're going to excel. Yep. You're going to thrive. You're not going to just survive. You're going to be thriving. You're going to be moving. Things are going to come so natural for you. The progression is going to happen without you trying to force it to happen. It would just automatically happen.
Right. It just flows. It's like the gates just open up. It's like the gates just open up. Yep.
It does. It does. I was hearing a minister speak just last night, and he just said, you know, you're waiting on a promotion. It's not your time. You don't have to wait on a promotion. When it's your time, the promotion will happen.
Right.
So it's not about waiting on a promotion. But I always say, if you stay ready, there's no need to get ready. So when an opportunity to presents itself, you are ready.
Right.
When they choose you are ready. So you can be found. So I love it. Go back to your why. What's your purpose? Yeah. Go back to that why, that purpose, that passion.
Yeah.
You can't get away from it.
No. Because you always come back to it.
Yep. So what's the best way? Let's see. We have some information running across the screen. That's where you get the 15-minute discovery with me here at Levelist. But also we want to put Sekolah's information up so individuals will have a way of getting in contact with Sekolah. There you go. There we are.
Sekolah, so that's my website. That's to my website, my real estate website. And so if you don't have a trusted realtor, I would like to be that trusted realtor for you. Even if you're not in my local area, I have a network of trusted other teammates that I work with that I can happily refer you to. So now, if you're already working with the realtor, I cannot advise you, but of course, I'm also happy to help and educate and throughout the entire process. And one of the best ways to follow me and stay in touch with me is on Facebook and Instagram at Work It, Live It, Own It. Don't try and take it, people, because I'm working to get that copyrighted. I'm going to get that trademark. So
that's right. Just continue by it. Continue by it. Yes. Yeah.
It's in the works.
Yeah, I love it. Work it, live it, own it. Yes, yes, that's it. Work it, live it, own it. Because if you're working in it, you live in it. I always tell people what I do is I love what I do. I just happen to be paid, get paid for it.
Right.
And would I do it if I didn't get paid? Of course I would. And I did for years. Because the whole objective is I don't want to take this when I'm no longer on this earth. I want to be able to impart it into individuals to be able to help them to carry on, because my motto is transforming generations and leaving legacies. And that's one way of doing it. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So I want, listen, I can see a Cheryl and Robin and Nicole and Norvell. I want you all to write one word. Novell, I want you to write one word that you're going to take away from this evening and share with others. One word.
Everybody, if you're still on, Nicole, Connie, if you're still on.
One word. Come on, Connie, you can do it. And is that Juwan? Is that right? Did I pronounce that correctly?
Janae.
Juwan?
Janae.
Oh, Janae. Oh, it's Janae. It's okay. It looks different, but Janae, I love that name, Janae. One word. Tell me one word that you're going to take away and share with others. One word. I love it. I love it. I love it. So what do you have going on right now? So what's up and coming for you, Sekolah?
What's up and coming from me?
How can we help you?
I'm looking at some other comments here. So my Onisha sent some love. My cousin Onisha sent some love. And Mark says he wants to hear about my library background.
Okay.
So I think we talked about this before the show, but yes, I am the first librarian of color where I work. And so, yes, that's part of Black history. Who knew? But
that's
one thing,
part of Black history.
Yeah, absolutely. So one word that I would take away, Janae said her word is no. Mm-hmm. And that's one of the words that I find out of that acronym that I do have to work with. No, and being able to say no in so many different ways. Connie says balance. Balance is so important. You don't want to run yourself ragged. And if you see yourself starting to go in that direction, stop yourself. Prone, she says, all the prone, really, the priority.
That's what I was going to say. I thought everybody was going to put in prone.
Right. Yes. Rebecca. Hi, Rebecca. Hi, Diana. Rebecca, I got to give a shout out to Rebecca. She is my mentor. I like to have a network of people. So I have an accountability partner. I have a mentor. I have coaches that I work with. Rebecca is my real estate mentor. She is phenomenal. So shout out to her. So prone, all of it. Yeah. And I would say no for me is one of those ones. Because I could be real quick and go, I'm going to take prone. Prone. You're going to take prone, the whole thing prone?
I'm going to take the whole thing prone.
You're going to take the whole thing?
So I can no, I'm going to take the whole thing.
Okay.
Cheryl is going to be relaxed.
You say relax, yes. That's my auntie. Yes, I feel you, auntie. I feel you. Relax.
Yeah. So, I want you all to circle back around and share with us how have you actually implemented it later on. So we're going to bring Sekolah back. So Sekolah, when you come back, we want some of these same individuals to come back and share with us We might even do a Zoom so that they can come on and share with us how they use this, the one word that they took away. It's all
Mhm.
about implementing what you learn. I would say learning hasn't taken place until you can apply it. And this is application.
Exactly.
This is a way of applying what we just talked about tonight. So I think this is phenomenal. So as we
Thank you
get
for
ready to
having me.
close, okay, Connie said prone, and the one word from prone would be organized.
Okay.
Yeah. Time
Mhm.
management and organizational skills are critical as well in life. No matter where
Yes.
we go, we'll always be able to use them. All right. I'm just trying to see if there's anything else that we want to cover. So, what is the one surprise you have for us about yourself that could be a trivia question that maybe some of these individuals on the line that knows you can answer?
I don't know if they know this, but they might have picked up on it because I know my brother and my dad, they're pretty insightful. So they probably picked up on this. Um, I don't like small talk. I get really nervous at small talk. So when I show up to a networking event, I really mentally have to prepare myself. And it's gotten a little challenging over the years because I've had two traumatic head brain injuries. So I get really nervous and I can twist my words around. And I don't mean to because I know what I'm saying up here, but then by the time it reaches my mouth, it comes out totally different. So I don't
Right.
like small talk. It freaks me out because behind, hey, how are you doing? My name is, and then it's like, okay, I'm done. What comes
Yeah,
next after that? I
yeah.
don't know. Keep the conversation going because I have nothing. But no, I really work on that, especially when I go to networking events. I find questions, and this may help someone too. If you're showing up to a networking event and instead of just drifting over to the food table or standing in the corner somewhere like most introverts want to do, you have to show up and say, hey, ask questions and have a stack of questions mentally in your head ready to go to keep the conversation going. Most importantly, be a listener. Be a listener because there may be something key that they've said that you can ask another follow up question. So that's
That's
my
right.
key, my tip to having small talk. And I'm still working on that. That is a work in progress, actually.
Well, believe it or not, I do have a workshop on making every connection count, and it
Ooh,
is on networking. It's about networking externally and networking internally because you also
nice.
need to know how to network inside the business that you're actually working within. There's a way to
Mhm.
network. And so
Nice.
I give tips and techniques. And one of the things I do use is I do use the cards. And on the cards, there are questions, and the questions is what keeps the networking going because you're right, many times we cannot come up with the question, but if you have a
Mhm.
question in hand and you ask someone, you don't know what the other end, and it usually end up being that y'all have so many things in common than not in
Mhm.
common
Right.
just by asking that a particular question. So
Mhm.
yeah, so I love it, I love it, I love it. You would never, right, you never know that the small talk, but you did so well with the prong. I can't wait to see the ebook. So we're gonna have to find when you get the ebook ready so you can talk about the ebook a little bit more and invite the viewing audience to come in and be a part of it.
Okay.
So we'll have to set a
Absolutely.
date for that. So I tell you what, I think we're getting closer to time, and I would like to thank Sokola for being here, for sharing this prong, how to balance your everyday job and still have a business. So, ladies and
Mhm.
gentlemen, you have heard it from a subject matter expert. It is possible. It's definitely possible. So, I would like to say, I was in the conversation is I believe in you, and I trust you believe in yourself. We're looking forward to having our guests next week and come back, tune in. I'm looking forward to having you back. So, Kahola, thank you so much for these platinum
Oh,
nuggets
thank
that you
you.
just shared with our viewing audience. You are a gem.
Oh, thank you. And thank you guys for coming out. And thank you, Miss Maxine, for having me on. I appreciate it. Thank you, Erica, for joining. I appreciate it, you guys. Thank you so much for the love and support. I appreciate it.
All right. Till next time.
Bye.